When purchasing a property, one very important skill you need to have is the power of negotiation. My name is Big Mo, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to negotiate effectively when you are purchasing a property. Now, when it comes to real estate, you're not dealing with tens or thousands, you're dealing with millions. And when you know how to negotiate effectively, you can save yourself millions of naira in the process. The first thing you need to do is to do what I call market research. Now, your market research is going to help you understand the market rate, which is going to be a good leverage for you when negotiating. There are times when you should go out to the field, ask the people in that area where you want to buy the property, how much is a plot of land? Let's say, for instance, you want to buy land in an area. Go around, ask people, do your market research. How much is a plot of land in this area? It will give you an idea if the price they are giving you is reasonable enough. For instance, during your market research, you discover that a plot of land is between the range of 7 to 10 million naira, and the asking price they are giving you is above that. You already know where your negotiation is going to start from. So the first thing you need to do is to do your market research so that you can understand the market rates in that region. The second thing you need to do is to check the property history. How long has the property been listed? Some properties have been listed for so long. That already gives you an idea. If a property has been listed for more than 5 years, you know that something is wrong. This property, there is an issue. Either the price has been loaded way too high, or maybe there's another issue that you don't even know about. So ask, okay, for how long has this property been listed? And another thing you need to do when verifying the property history is check the documents. This is actually particular for properties that have government title like C of O. A lot of people don't know that when you have C of O, you're supposed to be paying what we call land charges. And some of these landowners that you're looking at, ever since they've gotten their C of O, they've never paid a dime in land charges. And it has accrued to tens of thousands or sometimes hundreds of thousands of naira. And if you just buy a property blindly, you will inherit all these debts. And guys, you don't want to be inheriting debts after paying money. But when you do all this due diligence and you go to Bureau of Land, you tender the C of O, you investigate the document, and you say, okay, please help me check, are there debt on this? If there is a debt, you can also use that to negotiate. That should also be included during negotiation, and that deduction can save you hundreds of thousands too, and help you get the best prices. The next thing you should now do is ask strategic questions. Questions like, why is the seller selling? Understanding the motive behind the sale sometimes gives you an edge when negotiating. Sometimes the seller might be selling because he needs money, he's traveling abroad, or he wants to sort some bills or something. So if you see how desperate, that desperation can actually work for you during negotiation. Having equipped yourself with this information, I always advise you, start by offering them 20 to 30% below the asking price. So, for instance, let's say they are saying, okay, I'm going to sell this property for you for 10 million naira. Your negotiation should start 20-30% below that price. So, you can offer them 7 million. You can offer them 7.5. You can even offer them 6.5. Do you get? So, start your negotiation. I always advise that. Start it 20 to 30% below the asking price. And how do you leverage on this? How can you justify this? Now, one thing you should do when you are inspecting the property you want to buy is, don't just look at the advantages, look at the disadvantages, because the disadvantages is going to help you greatly during negotiation. For instance, now I want to buy a land and I realize that this land is good, or the slope, the landscape, everything is perfect, but it is inside a bit compared to other land that are selling for that same price range. I can use that during negotiation. I can say, look, lands that are closer, the proximity is closer to the road, is selling for that price range. Your own is still farther inside. I should not be expected to pay the same amount of money. Do you get? So identify the flaws on that property and use it as a leverage to get the best prices. If it is not land, if it is a property or a building, apartment, whatever it is, go there, look at it. Is there any error? Is there any expenses you are going to incur? Then factor it during negotiation, because you should not be covering for that. So let's say you're going to spend 3 to 4 million naira renovating the space or putting it back in shape. Do you get? You can put that in your negotiation. This property is run down. If I'm going to, use it for the purpose I want to use, I'm going to spend this amount of money. I expect a form of compensation. Do you get? I can't pay this amount of money. Look at the state of your property. So knowing the disadvantages or the weak or the bad side of the property can actually help you during negotiation. Now, having done all this, you're leveraging and all that. One way you can seal the deal is to offer what we call upfront payments. Yes, offer them upfront payments. You cannot, okay, you are negotiating, you are offering, okay, I'm going to pay you the land you are asking for 10 million, I'm going to pay you 7 million, and I'm going to pay you like between now and the next 3 4 days. Offer upfront payments. Sometimes that can convince them to agree. Do you get? So make sure your money is ready. And I must also say this, even though you are offering upfront payments, don't appear desperate. It's very important you don't appear desperate, because when they see that you are desperate too, they can key into your desperation. So in as much as they are offering them, okay, I'm going to pay this money immediately, also make them realize that you have other options. That's why I always say during negotiation, make sure the other party knows you have other options. In fact, tell them, close to that place, an agent has taken me to a land. It is even cheaper than yours. This is the reason why I like yours. But if you are not going to cooperate, maybe I might as well take my money elsewhere. So when you are offering them upfront payment, also make sure that you are not desperate. Let them know that you have other options or other alternative if they are not willing to cooperate with you. Then at the end of the day, at the end of it all, know when to walk away. This is the last key to negotiating when it comes to property. Know when to walk away. Sometimes you just know that this seller is not willing to meet me at any point in time. He just wants to stay on that price. And when you realize that your budget is not working in that direction, just walk away. It's not all deal that you close, especially when you are investing for business purposes. So one advice I'll give you is, if the negotiation is not going your way, know when to stand up and say, you know what, I can't go below this or I can't go above this. Just walk away. You might just save yourself a lot of stress and a lot of money. Who knows? Maybe by walking away, you even get a better option. Now, I'm sure you guys have learned one or two things, and I'm sure that if you put all this that I've said into practice, not only are you going to get yourself the best deals, you are going to save yourself millions of naira, because negotiation is a very important skill when it comes to real estate investment. And until next time, bye for now, guys.